Welcome to our intermediate flow. Now, if you're a beginner, there's nothing that we're doing that you couldn't teach yourself at home. I've made sure that anything tricky in this flow comes with a tutorial, so I'll make sure it's linked in the description and the info card above. I want you to make sure that your hammock is set somewhere around the region of your hip flexors for safe inverting, and I hope you enjoy your practice. We're going to begin our practice lying on our backs right underneath our plumb line. The legs can extend long, or if you prefer, walk your feet as wide as the mat so the knees can tent into each other. Relax your shoulders into the floor, palms face the ceiling as you close your eyes. Just notice the kinds of thoughts you've been thinking today and how you're feeling. The mind likes to think crazy things and drift and critique and judge. Do your best to just stay present. Take the next few rounds of breath to just let any residual tension go. Feel yourself relaxing into the mat as you exhale. On that next exhale, pull the knees into the chest, take a little squeeze, and just gently rock from side to side. Try to massage the back with the floor. And as you come back to center, extend your legs long and try to catch the heels in the fabric. So just gonna kind of walk some hooked right behind those heels. Make sure for this that the gaze is always at the ceiling. We don't want to look right or left when there's pressure on the neck. Take a full breath in, and on the exhale, flatten your back, press into your heels, and rise into what feels like a little bridge pose. Nice and slow, articulate the spine, roll your way down. On an inhale, press the tailbone into the ground and arch the spine. Exhale, flatten, and roll your way up. Nice and slow on the breath. Exhale down. Inhale, arch. Pressing that tailbone into the floor, full breath in. On an exhale, roll your way up. We'll see if we can hold that bridge-like position. Breathe in. Exhale, bend your knees towards the chest and extend. Try to keep your hips lifted. We're going to do 4 more. Bend and extend. Bend and extend. Last one, pull those knees in. Engage those glutes, extend long. Should feel just like a plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, nice and slow, articulate through the spine, coming all the way back down to the floor. Palms are going to come out to the side, leave your right heel in the fabric, left leg extends towards the ceiling, drop to the side, so left leg to the left, all the way up and across to the right. So try to keep both shoulders on the floor, pull that left leg across your body, and just windshield from one side over to the other. Nice and slow last time, opening to the left. And we'll hold a twist as you come up and across to the right. From here, you can continue to pull that leg across or use an assist. I'm going to put my hand on that left ankle and then use my left thumb right in the crease of my hip to deepen this stretch. Option to take a slow roll of the ankle here. Just try to articulate through those joints. Reverse the direction. And hold your twist. On an exhale, try to push that left hip away from the shoulder. Going a little bit deeper. Left leg comes up and back into the fabric. Rise up into bridge, just realign the spine, nice and slow, roll down. Keeping that left heel in, active pressure down, right leg up. Arms to the side, drop to the right. Both shoulders remain on the floor as you come into your rotation. Let's do one more nice and slow, opening to the right. Across the body to the left. From here, option to take the ankle, right? So using that right thumb on the hip crease, push the hip away. Slow rotation through the ankle. Both directions. And then just hold and feel. Really try to sink in by extending that right hip away. Find your way back to center. Just realign everything. We'll take that same lift of the hips, just like bridge, gazes at the ceiling. And then nice and slow, articulation down. Knees will come into the chest, holding on to either knee. And just circular turn right around that sacrum. Knees come out and around. Reverse directions. As you come back to center, just extend your legs long. Reach up for that fabric with your hands. Let your chest be the first to come up. So chest comes up, head hangs and come all the way up to a seat. You want to find your way back underneath that plumb line. You can hold on to the fabric with your hands just as a little bar in front of you. Flex the feet, pull the toes towards the ceiling, and just gently try to pull the heart forward. While you're here, we'll do a little bit of a point and flex. So I want you to point just your left foot, but pull your right toes towards your face. And then switch. Reach to the right, pull back to the left. And you should feel as if you're stretching the whole underside of those legs as you do this. As you point the left, I want you to look to the right. And as you point the right, I want you to look to the left. Do one more each side. So we're looking to the direction of the flexed foot. Coming back up, hold on to the fabric with just your right hand. And I want you to spin to the left. Pull the fabric away from you. Try to lengthen your hand away from your toes. Draw the navel in. Center. Switching left and across. So I'm pulling that fabric away. Point the toes, draw the navel and get even longer. Come back to center. Holding onto that little bar, pull the fabric towards you, hinging back and find a little boat-like position. Toes extend towards the ceiling, heart is lifted, hold. Widen your legs this time, come forward, feet are flexed. Try a little side hinge from one side over to the other. Keep both sit bones on the floor. As you come back to center, same thing, right arm is going to stay in. Make your rotation. Right hip is going to sweep off the floor and across to the left. Reach the right arm behind you as you draw the navel in. Through center, switching, left comes to the middle. Peel the hip off the ground or reach to the right. Look for length in your body. And all the way back to center. Take a basic wrist wrap. So we're going to go through the front and around. Through the front and around. Pull down on that fabric. Knees are going to come underneath you. And walk so that you are behind the plumb line. Still in a basic wrist wrap, we're right over those knees. Nice full breath in. And exhale, extend forward. Try to lift the tailbone as the belly drops towards the floor. Hands are reaching away. Exhale, curl your way up. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, roll up. Take a brief pause next time you come forward. Little lift of the tailbone. Try to extend those arms away. Roll your way up. And just step your right foot forward and through into a low lunge. Bring the fabric behind you. Nice open chest here. So actively just pull down on your fabric, almost like you're trying to pull it right out of the ceiling or rig, wherever you are hooked up onto. Try to lift the heart as you draw the navel in. Take a little bit of time just to open everything up before we get into our suspended practice. One more breath. Exhale, come through center. Flex that foot as you extend the heart forward. Half split pose, Ardha Hamanasana. Roll your way up, right knee comes underneath. Just take a couple rounds of our little variation of cat-cow. Dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone. Exhale, curl it up. And once more. Left foot lunges through center. Dropping that right hip. Pull yourself right out of those rigging points. Focus on lifting the heart but drawing the navel in so we don't dump into the low back. Pulling back, Ardha Hamanasana. Toes towards the face. Fabric reaches forward. And pull that foot and knee underneath you. You're going to take a little step forward so you can bring the fabric right underneath the shoulder blades. So this should not hurt if you can get right underneath your shoulder blades. You can always do a little push away with your hands here if you're feeling a pinch, but not think it's going to hurt. Extend your legs long and just try to drop the pelvis for a moment here. So really let everything release, maybe a little swing from side to side. Think of this as trying to really traction and lengthen the vertebrae. Right foot is going to step across the left and try to spin. So I'm trying to rotate to face the other direction and really let that hip sink towards the floor. Left hip. Through center, let's just resume, right? So if you're feeling pain here, little push with your hands should help. Left foot comes across, spin and try to twist to the right. Draw the navel in, try to let that pelvis really sink. And come all the way back to center. Walk yourself up and out. Fabric comes up and over. Getting ready for our first downward facing dog. So creating that little bar, bringing it up onto the hip flexors. Catch the fabric as you walk forward. Take that fold and release down into your expression. We want to actively push our torso away, so push into the floor with your hands. Flex the feet and lift the tailbone towards the ceiling. Try not to let the ribcage totally dump here. Draw the navel in and corset the ribs together. And imagine bringing length into your backside. Try to lengthen through the spine. Let this pose be active. Take another breath. And nice and slow. Come back underneath your plumb line, wrap down dog, widen the legs, and hook the heels and the feet on the front of the fabric. Take another walk back. Try to actively push the torso away from you, getting a little bit deeper into that opening through the chest. Neck should be totally relaxed, just let the head hang. actively push into the fabric with your feet. Releasing the feet and floating back underneath your plumb line. Taking this into a side plank variation, beginning with your right hand in front of your face. Left hand is going to reach up. Pull the fabric for your rotation. Coming into side plank. Nice and strong, extending from crown to toes. If you feel comfortable, take this into a float. I'm going to reach back with my left hand, find the fabric behind me. Take a little ride. You will move here, it's fine as long as you're holding on. Right hand to the floor, side plank. See if we can create some shapes here. So left hand is going to reach behind the fabric. See if you could find the back foot with your hand. Actively push the foot into your hand. Nice chest opener here. Breathe. Give it another breath. Nice and slow with the release. Controlled side plank. This time, let's try bottom foot. So reach back slow. See if you could find that bottom foot. If you could find the bind, I want you to scissor. Top leg reaches forward. Back leg reaches behind you, opening up the chest. Breathe in. And nice and slow for the release. As you exit, we may need to do a little adjustment here. So I'm just going to hold onto that fabric as I spin down to face forward. Now if you feel a little pinchy here, you can grab the fabric, give yourself a little lift, and usually you readjust. Second side, left hand right in front of your face, long and active through the legs. Reach up with the right, spin into your twist. Coming into side plank, second side. Taking the float, reach back, find the fabric that's behind you with the right, and release the left. Hand will come right underneath, side plank. Nice and slow, kicking back with the top foot. Reach behind the fabric, so we need to make sure that we're behind. Actively push the foot into your hand if you have the bind, coming into a chest opener. Release. And this one a little more challenging, just move slowly, kick that bottom foot back. See if you could find your bind. Scissor action, so top leg scissors forward, back leg scissors back, nice open chest. Breathe. Exhale for the release. And make that spiral back down towards the floor. Feet to the ground, walk yourself up and forward. Fabric will come up and over, catching the back of the shoulder blades as you sink back and arch into back bend. Navel draws in, opening the chest. Breathe in. Exhale, lift the head first. And then go ahead and rise up. We'll come right underneath the plumb line. Now you want to keep the fabric right where it is. It's right behind my shoulder blades. Hinge forward into a pike position. Arms extend out to the side. This will lead us into our Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3 pose. Beginning with the right leg, nice and slow, foot is flexed. Begin to float that leg up. See if you can create one long line of energy from the heel, through the hip, all the way through the crown. The fabric pulls us, which is what makes these poses even more challenging. Just breathe. Full breath in. Exhale, bend those knees and relax into the pose. As the elbows bend, just the fabric catch. And let your whole body hang in Uttanasana, forward fold. If you want to wiggle your fingers a bit here, just kind of let any tension go. Roll up, arms should extend and you can catch the shoulder blades. Getting ready for second side. See the pose in your mind first and then nice and slow. Left heel lifts. We want to make sure those hips are pointing towards the floor. It likes to lift. You're actively squeezing that thigh, pushing to the heel. Everything is working. Breathe in. Releasing that pose as you roll your way up, and bring that fabric up and over. Billow out your fabric. Make sure that you don't have any obvious tangles. So if you can just get the heel in, usually you could find your way into the whole leg. So I'm gonna bring my right foot in. Pull it all the way up your thigh. You'll also wanna come underneath your plumb line, so holding onto the fabric. Just kind of find your way to center. From here, hold on to both poles, foot is flexed, and try to extend the heart forward. Roll your way back, and we're gonna get ready for a variation of pigeon. I've yet to do this one with you. You'll want to bend the right knee, so the right knee should be on the right side and the right foot should be on the left side. Weave your hands through the window in front of you. Grab your fabric and you'll want to get right underneath your plumb line, so you may need to pop forward. Allow your body weight to sink right through the middle and allow yourself to hang. So a passive hang of the upper body. Feeling a similar stretch to that we would in pigeon. Nice and slow as you rise up, arms will sweep through center and then just come out from behind. Let your legs straighten. And we're gonna make a transition to face the other direction. So you'll need to spin on that left foot. You may wanna hold the fabric with one or both hands. My knee is gonna point towards the ground, and to get underneath my plumb line, holding onto that fabric, I'm just gonna lift and lower. Standing split variation, press into the fabric as you sink back. So actively push the foot into the fabric, nice open heart here. Draw the navel in, try not to jump into the low back. Really press into the fabric. And release. Take that spin all the way back around. As you face forward, just peel that fabric from the foot. And we'll try that second side. So just focus on getting your heel in, and then you could pull it all the way up. So make sure you're right underneath your plumb line. You might need to adjust a bit here. Foot is flexed, holding onto that fabric. Pull the heart forward. Make sure you're actively pulling the toes back towards your face. Breathe in and feel. Rolling up, and getting ready for our pigeon. The knee bends, right? So knee bends to the left. Left foot should be more towards the right side of your body. Weave through your window and just take that little adjustment. Pop forward, right between your rigging points. Fold through center, passive hang. Just let everything go. Arms will come up and through. Okay, we have that extension first, so extend the leg. And get ready for that transition. Pivot to the right. Try to spin that left knee towards the floor. Find the fabric, a little adjustment here. Get underneath your plumb line. Nice open heart. Kick back, so foot presses into fabric. Push into that fabric. And release. Take that spin, spiraling on that right foot as you come all the way around. And just guide that left leg up and out. All right, grab that fabric, downward facing dog. Come up onto those hip flexors as you come into your expression. Push through the heels. Shake that head yes or no. The long spine tailbone is reaching up and away. Just check in with the mind here and notice if you're kind of drifting or fatiguing. How are you doing in your practice? We're here to work and hopefully have a little bit of fun too. If it feels comfortable and you just want to hang here, I'm going to cross my ankles, cross my arms. My hammock is so low, it strangely has lengthened while it was hanging in my closet. Hands to the mat, lift your gaze, and walk yourself up and out. Fabric will come up and over. We're going to take this into our first inversion, going through that back straddle. Onto those tiptoes, we want to find the sacrum. Nice and slow on that inversion. Legs widen and feet cross in front. Remember, as you come into this, backs of the hands to the floor, right? We always want to stop that way. I've never been this low to the floor before. I'm like low riding today. We'll take this into chandelier. So taking one leg, I'm going to start with the left and just hook the foot on the fabric and just extend. So I'm trying to lengthen and crochet this leg all the way up the fabric. From there, you could release your other leg and extend it behind you. Now your hands on the hips will probably help you feel a little more secure. If you think you can reach for the bind, we want to avoid back pain here. So if you come into this position and you feel pinching in your low back, you'll need to scale out a bit. If you do have the foot, push in, foot into hand. Slow on the release, come back to neutral. So let's just start over. Wide angle, cross the feet in front. Second side, right foot is going to crochet up. The left can extend behind you, so you can hold here. Look for the bind if you have it. Actively press, that sometimes takes time to get. Opening up the quads or the chest. And release. As you come out, both feet will pike towards your face. Reach up for that fabric. Slow exit, so come up halfway. Take a breath or two. Before the feet come to the floor, let the pelvis hang. Cross your hands in front and just rest your forehead. When you feel ready, when you're accustomed to being right side up, just slowly go ahead and ease yourself up and out. Bring that fabric up and over. Just hold it in front of you. Feet are gonna walk as wide as the mat. So I have a basic wrist wrap. I am through the middle and around the outsides. Just extend forward. Just take a little bit of recovery before we go back upside down. Long to the sides of the waist, actively push the fabric away. Breathe in. Exhale, roll your way up. And extend forward. I want you to hold the fabric with just your right hand. So I'm going to hold on to both poles. Look to the left as you bend the right elbow and just let all your body weight sink. Roll your way up and release. Begin with your wrist wrap, both sides, through the middle and to the outside. Lift the tailbone, reach your hands away from you. As you come up, hold both sides of the fabric with your left as you come into your fold. Bend the left elbow, look to the right, and sink. This should be really sweet on your trap. Roll your way up. We're going to take this into a pose called suspended bound angle. Now, this is not a hard pose, but there is a moment in time where you need to be aware of a potential fall hazard. So if you're unfamiliar, maybe watch first. Our goal is to get both feet into the fabric. So I'm going to start by just stepping one foot in. You'll want to be on the arch so the heels and the toes are exposed. As you come into the hammock, the feet will pike forward. Just like a bound ankle pose, the soles of the feet will come together, the knees go wide, pulling them underneath your hips. Now right here is the fall hazard, right? The only thing holding me on is my hands. So one at a time, you tuck your elbows through the middle. Now I can release my hands and I'm safe. You can bring your hands to heart center. This is a little pinchy, but with practice, it does get better. I actually don't experience pain, but I think after a little bit of a break, it was pretty intense. You can also work an inversion here. So for the inversion, thumbs will be on the inside, my hands are on the outside. Just begin to extend your body weight forward, and you can come into your fold. You can continue to hold the fabric if you feel a little insecure. Otherwise, release your hands, let the head totally dangle. I also like to interlace my hands behind me. Go for that chest opener. Now to exit your pose, it is the same setup. Your thumbs are on the inside, your hands are on the outside, and just slowly pull yourself back up. Remember the fall hazard. You'll do one at a time. Hand and elbow come through, hand and elbow come through. For the release, you can stand and step off, or what I like to do is pop into a seat. Knees will come together, and just send your body weight forward. Feet to the floor. We're gonna take it back into our inversion. This time we're gonna be focusing on spiral drops. Again, tutorial. I'll make sure it's linked in the description below if it's new to you. Onto that sacrum, dropping back. We'll definitely want to stop our moving from here, so backs of the hands to the floor. We move into a circus sit. The legs kick through. From here, breathe in, exhale, ab crunch. Climbing that fabric. Legs come up and out, coming into circus sit. I'll start with the left leg. Left knee's gonna bend, which means right arm crosses the chest. We spiral into the knee. Hence, spiral, drop. Bringing you into your leg hang. Now you can hold here. If you had that bind for chandelier, you can find it again here. Actively push foot into hand. Reset as you pike both feet to your face and feet cross in front. Let's see if we can do our second side. Kick through, breathe in, exhale, coming up. Legs come up and out, circus sit. Second side, right knee will bend, the left arm is gonna cross the chest, spiral into your knee. Catch one or both pulls coming into your pretty leg hang. Maybe the bind as you push right foot into hand. Release your grip, pike to the face with a slow exit. Come up halfway, feet to the floor, and support the forehead. Just become accustomed to being right side up. Only when you feel ready, walk yourself up and out. We're gonna work on a little skill together that gets us more comfortable with flipping, because it can be a little scary. So, sometimes when we do spiral drops, this can get a little tangled, so just kind of make sure you're nice and open here. Find your way into a seat, so a couple handfuls of fabric, climb in. To set up, we'll want to get a little cape on, so reach behind and find the edge of the fabric. It will be curly. Drape it right over your shoulders. Lie back. From here, we're going to take this into a pike position. Hands are nice and straight, reach up for the fabric. Focus on piking your feet to your face. You will be held and caught in your shoulders. And see if you could balance. Now you can hold here. To exit, just nice and slow. Let your hips fall back into the hammock. You're gonna be right back to where we started in a seat. Now I will show progression if that felt good to you. We roll back, we pike. Create balance first. I'm using core strength, totally held, totally safe. If you feel comfortable, you can try creating some shapes with your legs. Engaging the core. If you do one side, do the other. Use that core, don't hold your breath. You can fall back into your seat just as we did on round 1. If you feel comfortable, come to pike first, and feet will fall to the floor. Rolling your way up. Yeah? So if you're seated, we're gonna join you. If you're on the floor, we're gonna climb back in. We'll take it down a notch and just begin to slow things down a bit. Cover those thighs. Let's get completely encapsulated. So back into your cape. Lie back and walk your feet in. Try to cover those feet. Reach up with your hands. You can bring up into a seat, coming into a folded position. Reach your arms up through the middle of the fabric. See if you can fold forward and find your feet. So I'm just going to try to pull my toes towards me as I allow my upper body to relax and fold. Take this time to just check back in with your mind and make sure you're here with me in our practice. How are you feeling in your body? Rise up, inhale your arms overhead, and as they come up, reach them out and behind the fabric so they're exposed from behind you. Nice and slow, take this into your back bend. I'm going to slide down, holding onto the fabric with your hands if that makes you feel comfortable. You should feel pretty safe. Option to release the arms if you choose. Head should be totally relaxed. Make sure that as you lift, it is chest first. So we don't want to just lift our head from this position. Grab the fabric with your hands, pull up, keep your head hanging. Chest, head will be the last to come up. Inhale the arms through, taking a second fold. Come through and forward, counter stretch. And rise up into a seat. Roll back and make sure that you can cover everything. So I'm going to cover even my head this time. Lie all the way down. Head is covered, toes are covered. Extend your arms long overhead behind you out of the fabric. And just start that little side bend back and forth. Side crunch. And then as you feel complete, I want you to just begin to settle into center. You can let the elbows hang and let the arms hang out of the fabric behind you. Close the eyes and just feel that gentle, weightless feeling. Let the breath just begin to soften a bit. Give permission for the mind to drift wherever it likes to go. Keep your eyes closed. Just notice where your mind was if it had drifted off. Random thoughts, old memories. Begin to reawaken your body with that little side bend back and forth. Come back to center, bend the knees so that you can kick the feet through. And then use your hands to help you up to a seat. Pull down on that fabric. Allow your elbows to bend and just fall forward. Sitting up, inhale those arms overhead and bring it into heart center. Opening your eyes. I am humbled to be here working with you. Namaste. If you've enjoyed flowing with me, great, that's why I'm here. Consider giving this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Of course, consider subscribing. Make sure you check out our playlists, one for tutorials and one for classes. Hopefully I'll see you there on the mat or in the air again soon.